Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, I'm going to be putting together my second Care Story Kit Crush project using the Care Story Kit from Ali Edwards. For this one, I am doing a layout that essentially does not have any photos. It does kind of, but it doesn't. What I have done is I have printed off a bunch of photos of conversations or of emails or of just communication that I have received recently in a tough time that really helped me to get my feet back on the ground, so to say. So I have 6 different heart shapes here that I clipped my journaling into. And what I'm planning to do with this is to tell a story about some times when people, through their words, have taken really good care of me. So some things that people have done to show me that they care. So what I've got here to work with today is from the Care Story Kit. I've got this Take Good Care journaling card. This is a 4x6 journaling card that I'm planning to use as a title piece with some vellum, this felt butterfly, which is an older product from One Little Word that I just had in my stash, and a chipboard piece from the Care Kit that says a story of someone who took time to care, which was the jumping off point for this entire story. Then the other feature piece of this layout are going to be these 6 pocket hearts. These, I believe, were an add-on to the Care Story Kit, and I picked them up not really knowing what I wanted to do with them, just knowing that I really loved the way that they looked, and I loved the stitched texture on the hearts themselves as well. So what I thought would be really cool would be to create some photos that are the same heart shape but slightly smaller so they can slip down inside of those pockets, and to back each of them with a pattern paper that has a similar tone to the hearts themselves. So I picked some out that have that creamy white type of color, some pinks, and some oranges. And what I'm going to do is layer these or add them to a 6x12 layout that will hold the hearts in a row or in a column, 2 columns, right? Essentially something like this. And then I can fill the pockets with the words that meant so much. And that's essentially going to be my story. So what I'm going to do is put you on fast forward. This one's going to be a little bit intricate and it's going to take some time to get it all put together. So I'll put you on fast forward and talk you through my process. And then once we've got everything done, we will slow back down. I'll show you how the interactive pieces work. I'm not going to read the journaling because they were words that were gifted to me from other people. And I don't necessarily want to, it's not that there's anything bad on them, just I don't know, they just feel kind of private, if that makes sense. I'm not going to read the words here, but I will show you how the whole page works, and then we will finish up our layout from there, finish up our video. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so jumping into my layout for today, first we're gonna go ahead and take all of these hearts that I printed out on my computer, and I'm going to roughly trim around the outside edge. So basically what I did is I created the heart shape in Photoshop, and I used the digital version of the pockets and just sized it down slightly. Then I clipped my images into those hearts and added a stroke around the outside, which is what gives it that kind of darker color line around the outside, because I needed something really easy to see in order to cut it out into the right shape later. So now that they are all roughly cut out, so nothing is actually cut out along the exact line, next what I'm going to do is add adhesive to the back of all of these hearts, and I'm going to stick them down onto the back side of pattern paper that I want to add into my layout as well. I have picked 3 scrap pieces of pattern paper. This first one right here, is actually from the heart the quarterly scrapbooking kit with the theme of hearts from Ali Edwards. This next one, honestly, I don't even remember where it came from. I have had this paper in my stash for a super long time, and I think this is all I have left of it. So if you know where this paper came from, definitely leave that in the comments section because I sure don't remember, but it is one of my favorite papers. It's got this really bold floral pattern on the opposite side. And then I also have an orange pattern paper that I picked out, a scrap piece from one of my Paige Evans collections. This might have been from the Horizon collection, or it may have been from Bloom Street. Again, I'm not totally sure because those are just the last little pieces I have left of those collections. So next, once everything is stuck down to each other, I can go ahead and truly fussy cut out each of those hearts. For this, I'm going to use my Cutter Bee Precision Scissors, but any precision scissors will do the trick. Basically, a precision scissor is one that has a smaller blade on the end, and it makes it a lot easier to maneuver where you are cutting on like a finer level. Like I would not use a precision scissor to cut out, really large pieces of paper, but more when I'm looking for a detailed cut of something. So we're going to cut out all of these hearts. I'm going to skip over a bunch of it to where they are all done. And then I am sticking those down into the heart pockets. So there are 6 of them. And what I wanted the pattern papers to be what was visible on the upper portion of the heart. I really love the way that looks. But as I'll tell you later in this video, you can really do all different kinds of things inside of those pockets. You could make hearts that are photos. You could make hearts that are stamping, like all different kinds of things that you can put inside of the heart pockets to dress them up and make them look really, really cool. For my title piece, I'm taking the 6x4 card that says, "Take good care," because my story is about people taking care of me or ways that people have shown that they care. So this seemed like the perfect sentiment for this type of project. I wanted to mute down a portion of the card though, because it's very bright and busy, so I could add some title pieces on top, especially and specifically the chipboard piece that says, I believe it says, a story of how someone took care of me. So what I did is I added a piece of vellum across the middle. The vellum is sized at 2.5 inches in height by the 6 inches wide. I stapled that on with my tiny attacher from Tim Holtz, and then I pulled out this gray butterfly from my older One Little Word supplies, added that into the middle of the card, and layered the chipboard title piece on top of the butterfly. So we have this really textural, layered up element as my title piece. Then I'm going to add my adhesive to the back of the card. A lot of times I prefer to use double-sided adhesive instead of roller adhesive, especially if something's going to be outside of the page protector, because it's going to hold much stronger onto the background paper. So I stuck that down at the very top of a 6x12 piece of textured white cardstock. Then I'm going to take all 6 of these little hearts and I'm going to add that same double-sided adhesive to the back of all 6 of them. Before sticking them down, I do want to get them positioned roughly where I want them to go. This is going to allow me to make sure that the different hearts are evenly spaced. They will touch in the middle because each of those hearts is about 3 inches in width. And since my layout is 6 inches in width, it means that the hearts are going to span across the full width of the page. But there is a little bit of space that goes in between each row of those hearts. So I wanted to make sure that my spacing was good before I started sticking everything down. Once I am comfortable with that, I will take off the backing for the tape and push everything down onto the layout. Already super loving how this one is looking, but I wanted to actually dress up the bottom of those pockets as well. It was feeling a little too plain since the top portions with the pattern papers were, I don't know, they're not that they're busier, but they are kind of busier, so to say. So I went back into my stash of my leftover care supplies and pulled out the sheet of tiny phrase stickers. For each of the hearts, I'm going to layer 2 of them. Some of them are a longer sentiment that I will cut into 2 pieces. Some are 2 completely different sentiments that I just have layered one on top of the other. So it's going to give this look of a consistent look by having all of the hearts have tiny phrase stickers on them, but there's also an inconsistency in how long the tiny phrase stickers are. Some of them, I have the top section is the shorter one and the bottom section is the longer one, and vice versa. And I like having a little bit of variability even in the things that are consistent across the entire layout. Once I have stickers for all 6 of those hearts, I will then pull over this sheet of puffy heart stickers, which I don't remember if they were part of the collection or if they were an add-on, but they were definitely part of the Care Story Kit release. So I will pick 3 hearts and layer them on the upper left-hand pink heart, the middle white heart, and then the bottom white heart, giving it kind of a triangle sort of look. All right, friends, that completes my layout for today. If you enjoyed seeing how this one came together, I would love a thumbs up on this video down below, and be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you can catch all of my future crafty videos. So for this one, I really like how this one turned out. And the cool thing about a layout like this is on the back side of these heart inserts, you could totally put pictures of people. They don't have to be necessarily words, or you could do, you know, pictures on some and journaling on the others. Or if you didn't want to use pattern paper, you could actually have your photo on the one side and your journaling on the other. So it's just such a cool way to include story and photos in a really fun way on a layout. Now, if you're wondering how in the world is this layout going to go inside of an album? My answer to that is one of the things I like to do with my larger layouts that have an interactive piece to them is I actually take a piece of plastic transparency, that one that's a little bit thicker, and I cut a piece that is 2 inches in width by 12 inches high. Then I will add some adhesive about 1 or not even 1 inch in. I'll add it on the back side of my piece of my page here, and then stick it down onto the transparency so that I can punch holes and add it into my album. In fact, let me grab out another layout that I did similar to this, and I can show you exactly what I mean. So this layout right here was another one that I did in a 6x12 orientation, and this one has a section of it that flips up to reveal a photo underneath. I did this with the Strong Story Kit back when I was crushing this one. You might be able to see here that there is actually a piece of plastic that is coming out of the side and has my 3 holes punched into it. So this goes directly into my album, but sits outside of a page protector. This page right here, I will actually just adhere, and actually you can see this a little bit better on the back side, where you can see the adhesive I used, which is just that double-sided adhesive, and I stuck it down onto the page. For this side, what I would do is add my adhesive to the back portion of the 6x12, and then I can take this piece and adhere it directly onto the back of the previous page. So then when this is in the album, we have the first interactive page here, and then it will flip over, and this page will be interactive, and I can pull out the little hearts to see the journaling inside of those heart pockets, if that makes sense. So that is how I plan to put this one into my 12x12 story album. All right, friends, if you have any questions about how this came together, please let me know in the comments section down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you on that. And then also tell me something that somebody has done for you recently to show that they care. I really love the concept of looking intentionally at our lives lately and seeing where people are showing us they care and the ways in which they do so. Leave that down in the comment section below as well. I'd love to hear how people are treating you with care this month. All right, friends, I'm going to be back again next week with another layout for Story Kit Crush using a more current kit. Next week, however, we're going to be working with the Teach Story Kits. You're going to see a layout I'm creating this month using Teach as my story lens. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, friends.